Have you ever felt the weight of self-doubt? Like no matter how much you try, there's a little voice inside your head that questions your worth, your abilities, and your future? It's that feeling of being stuck in a cycle where you're unsure of your next move, wondering if you're good enough to succeed, or if everyone else has it together while you're left behind. We've all been there. It's easy to get caught in that trap where your confidence feels like it's slipping through your fingers and you can't see a way out. The world around you moves fast and you're left wondering, why can't I keep up? What if I told you that this feeling, this self-doubt, is not something you need to avoid or fear? What if I told you that you can turn it into a powerful force that propels you toward personal growth and fulfillment? Today, we're going to explore how you can overcome self-doubt by tapping into one of the most profound and timeless philosophies, Stoicism. The Stoics weren't just thinkers from ancient Greece and Rome. They were individuals who mastered the art of living well, and their teachings are still just as relevant today. By applying their wisdom, you can face the doubts and insecurities that hold you back and use them to strengthen your character, boost your confidence, and live a more purposeful life. The power of Stoic wisdom. To begin, let's acknowledge that self-doubt isn't a flaw. It's part of being human. Every person at some point in their life faces moments of uncertainty. What separates those who thrive from those who get stuck is how they respond to those feelings. You can either let self-doubt dictate your actions, or you can choose to face it head-on with the clarity and wisdom that Stoicism offers. One of the key principles of Stoicism is the understanding that we cannot control everything that happens in our lives, especially not our external circumstances. But what we can control is our own response. The Stoics believed that by mastering our internal world, our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions, we could maintain peace of mind even in the face of the greatest challenges. So, when doubt creeps in, instead of allowing it to control you, the Stoics would advise you to take a step back, reflect, and ask yourself, what is in my control right now? And more importantly, what can I learn from this moment of doubt? The first step: embrace what you cannot control. One of the most empowering lessons from Stoic philosophy is the concept of focusing only on what you can control. Think about it for a moment. How much energy do you spend worrying about things that are completely outside of your control? Whether it's the opinions of others, the outcome of a situation, or things that happened in the past, all of these are beyond your influence. Instead of getting lost in thoughts of what could go wrong, the Stoics teach us to redirect our focus. In his book, Meditations, the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This idea is liberating because it shows us that self-doubt often stems from fears about things outside we can't change. And if we stop trying to control the uncontrollable, we free up mental space to focus on our actions, thoughts, and attitudes. So, the next time self-doubt surfaces, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, then it's time to let go. Instead of spiraling into uncertainty, redirect that energy into what you can influence: your response, your mindset, and your commitment to moving forward. The second step: reframe your self-talk with Stoic rationality. Self-doubt often begins with a negative inner dialogue. We tell ourselves we're not good enough, not smart enough, or that success is beyond our reach. But the Stoics offer a powerful tool to transform that narrative: rational thinking. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught us that while we can't control our initial emotional reactions, we can choose how we interpret those emotions. When we feel doubt creeping in, we have the power to reframe our thoughts and challenge their validity. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." When you doubt yourself, it's important to ask, is this fear rational? Challenge the negative assumptions you're making. For example, if you're worried about failing, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Often, when we break things down, we realize that our fears are blown out of proportion. And even if things don't go as planned, what's the worst possible outcome? It's probably not as catastrophic as we imagined. By practicing this Stoic approach of reframing our thoughts, we can turn self-doubt into an opportunity for growth. Instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough," try replacing it with, "I am capable of learning, adapting, and improving." The third step: accept your limitations and learn from them. Another core tenet of Stoic philosophy is humility, the understanding that we don't have all the answers, and that's okay. In fact, it's essential for personal growth. Self-doubt often arises when we feel we're not measuring up to some idealized version of ourselves or others. But the Stoics teach us that true wisdom comes from acknowledging what we don't know and being open to learning. Socrates, the father of Stoicism, famously said, "The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing." This isn't a statement of defeat. It's an invitation to curiosity and growth. So, instead of feeling paralyzed by self-doubt, consider it a signal that you're on the path to learning. Recognize that every challenge is an opportunity to expand your knowledge and grow stronger. When you face something difficult, instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough for this," try shifting your perspective to, "I may not know everything right now, but I'm willing to learn, and that's what matters." The fourth step: practice resilience and perseverance. One of the most powerful Stoic ideas is the concept of amor fati, the love of fate. This means embracing whatever happens to us, good or bad, and seeing it as an essential part of our journey. Stoic philosophers understood that suffering and setbacks are inevitable parts of life, but they also recognized that our ability to persevere through them shapes our character. Self-doubt often arises after a setback, when we feel like we've failed or fallen short. But the Stoic approach teaches us to see failure not as an end, but as a stepping stone. In fact, the Stoics would argue that we need failure in order to grow. Without challenges, we would never have the opportunity to build resilience and strength. When doubt creeps in, remind yourself that resilience is built through adversity. You can choose to grow stronger with every challenge. Each time you face difficulty and keep moving forward, you cultivate a mental toughness that is unshakable. The fifth step: cultivate self-compassion. While Stoicism is often associated with emotional detachment, it's important to recognize that Stoics also believed in the power of self-compassion. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wrote, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." When you're struggling with self-doubt, be gentle with yourself. Understand that everyone has doubts, and it's okay to feel vulnerable. Rather than beating yourself up or trying to suppress those feelings, acknowledge them and show yourself the same compassion you would show a friend. Self-compassion is not about excusing mistakes. It's about recognizing that you're human. You're allowed to fail, to learn, and to grow. By treating yourself with kindness, you create the space for healing and progress. The sixth step: take action and build confidence. At the end of the day, action is the antidote to self-doubt. The Stoics believed that we should focus on taking deliberate, purposeful actions rather than getting lost in analysis or fear. When you take action, you prove to yourself that you are capable, that you can face your doubts and move forward anyway. One of the most famous Stoic practices is to ask yourself, what's the next right step? Don't worry about the whole journey or the outcome. Just focus on the immediate action in front of you. The more you take action, the more your confidence grows. Each small step becomes a reminder that you can overcome obstacles, learn from mistakes, and continue moving forward. Overcoming self-doubt is not about eliminating the feelings altogether. It's about changing how we respond to them. By embracing the teachings of Stoic philosophy, you can learn to view doubt not as a hindrance, but as an opportunity for growth. The Stoics believe that true strength comes from within. By focusing on what you can control, reframing negative thoughts, accepting your limitations, practicing resilience, and taking deliberate action, you can transform self-doubt into your greatest ally. Remember, every moment of doubt is a chance to practice these principles. The more you apply them, the more you will cultivate the confidence and clarity to take charge of your life. Now, it's time for you to take action. Start today by reflecting on what's in your control, reframing your self-talk, and taking that first step